Guys, what's up? It's Melanie. Today we're going to be using a brand new product put out by DIY Paint Company. This is a thickening agent. It's super cool and we're going to use it on this empire here to create a new look. Hamish picked up this empire dresser off of Facebook. I'm not sure if you are familiar with empire pieces, but they're really cool and a lot of them do have a hidden drawer, something like this one. I love special things about furniture like that. It just really, I don't know, is super cool. As you can see, a lot of the veneer here is chipping off and missing in places. Normally, I would think about putting wood filler and trying to fix those things, but you know what? For the look we're going for, it's just gonna fit right in. This is Blue Iris made by DIY, and this thickening agent right here, this little 2-ounce bottle, is recommended to use an entire 5 quarts of paint. That's how little you need of this stuff in order to get it to work. So I'm just gonna pour some in. Probably should be measuring, but you know, that's just not my style. So we're just gonna do a little drippies in there and get going. I'm gonna mix that up real well and put it aside. Meanwhile, let's get going with Hey Sailor. I'm gonna use my 1.5-inch round brush made by Wise Owl and just start squishing this stuff on here. We're going for a lot of texture. So even with this base coat, even though it doesn't have any of the thickening agents, you can see how thick DIY paint is already. I'm still able to get lots of highs and lows, lots of pinks in my pounds. This is super fun. I let that paint sit for about as long as it took me to paint the top of that dresser with Hey Sailor, and check it out. Look how thick and yummy this is. It's really cool, and it does look like frosting. Good job with the name there, Debbie. So now we're going to keep going with our pounds technique, and you can see that my peaks are way higher. It's really very fun. All right, let's go ahead and do the same thing with some old 57. Now let's mix in some mermaid tail with a little bit of old 57. This is what we have now. Looking all right, but we definitely need to add some more and work on our transitions a bit. Yikes. Here I'm going to go back in with Blue Iris. That way I can make this transition not so violent. We want it to just be a lot more fluid than what it is. Having just the smallest amount of paint on my brush can really help me to just kind of blend that in. Now I'm using the smallest amount of layered chocolate, which is a nice rich brown, to just age this piece a little bit. So now I'm going to go in with my sanding paper and just smooth this piece out. We built up all that texture and that's great and you can still see it, but I want it to be soft to the touch. That's what my customers like and that's what I like. For further distressing and aging, I'm going to pull out my damp towel so that way I can rub this back and get some of that original finish. Some really good drippies on the side here, so I'm going to use my strip and clean made by Wise Owl and just squirt it directly on the paint. Being that this is a diluted cleaner, it'll really help me to get down to the base, to that natural wood. Let that set for just a minute and then went back in with a dry towel and just rubbed it back so I could get some of that wood showing through. This is a stencil that I bought off Amazon a very long time ago. It's a full tile stencil, but we're just going to use part of it and our Blue Iris that already has the thickening agent in it, and let's use that for some raised stenciling. Wow, this works great for raised stenciling. Look how nice and poofy that is. I love it. We're just gonna keep doing this, going all the way down. This time, I'm gonna go ahead and mix in some mermaid tail, and then I'm gonna transition to the white as I go down. Now that that's completely dry, it's time to pull out our clear wax and our 2-inch palm brush and seal this baby up. Always amazes me how DIY clear wax changes the paint of DIY so dramatically. Now that we have clear wax over everything, we can go back in with our white wax and just highlight the stenciling a little bit. forget to buff up your clear wax after it's done drying. It's definitely a step worth doing so you can just see that wax glow. You can find any of the products I use on this video on my website at windmillvintagedesigns.com. You guys are awesome, and remember, only you can make it happen. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you soon in the next video. See ya.